President Biden will make history this weekend by becoming the first American president to visit the Amazon rainforest. He'll get a firsthand look at how some are working to preserve one of the Earth's most critical ecosystems. We got an up-close look at one effort being undertaken by tiny creatures renowned for their work ethic. Manuel Bojorquez has the story from Peru.
The Amazonian city of Nauta, Peru is its own beehive of activity. So in order to reach the bees we came to see, we'd have to go remote. A 45-minute boat ride along the sprawling Marañón River, accompanied by a group of scientists.
Yo soy Manuel, mucho gusto.
To a community where we were warmly greeted by this indigenous Cucama family, complete with a traditional face painting using achote seeds as a welcome. It's here that chemical biologist Rosa Vázquez Espinoza explained what we were about to see.
These bees are native from the Amazon, and they are the most efficient pollinators for native flora. And so we need them if we're talking about regenerating the Amazon.
These tropical bees are smaller than your typical honeybee, with another big difference. They don't sting, but they are disappearing. Espinoza and her team had an idea: create a local economy based on the bees to incentivize protecting them.
They raise the bees, can sell the honey, can do bee ecotourism, and they have to keep the bees healthy and happy to keep the business going.
Do you think it's enough to have an impact, a real impact?
I think it's already happening.
Por acá?
Sí.
Take Heriberto Vela and his family. They now have dozens of beehives located on their property.
So this very top layer is where they make the honey. And that's the honey. Wow. Look at that.
It's runnier, even citrusy compared to traditional honey.
You can feel them walking around, licking the honey right off your finger. It's kind of an odd sensation to be this close to a bee and not be in fear of getting a bee sting. But these little critters are very important for this ecosystem here.
Which is why Vela won't turn to work that would involve cutting trees down.
You're trying to protect this type of forest, este tipo de selva, porque es necesario para las abejas. It's necessary for them to live.
But those who live here say finding wild hives is getting harder.
There are some communities that used to walk 10 minutes, 20 minutes into the rainforest and were able to find native bees. Now it takes sometimes even hours, multiple hours, to even find one wild beehive.
They wanted us to see for ourselves. So we hiked through the thick Amazon jungle, over creeks, or sometimes in them. And with no other major spills, it took about an hour to reach a point where they heard a faint buzzing.
You could hear just a faint buzz.
Very faint buzz. If you notice, it's almost impossible to see it if you're just visually looking for it.
These bees had built their hive inside a slit in this tree.
But you can see if that's the home they choose, that if you knock that tree down, their home is gone.
Yeah, right away. It takes them months, 3, 4, even more months to build the beehive in the first place.
Espinoza says saving them is crucial for everyone because the Amazon rainforest is known as the lungs of the world.
This isn't something that only impacts Peru, correct?
Correct. Stingless bees are such a key aspect of regenerating the Amazon rainforest, which in turn helps combat climate change at a global scale.
Quite a big job they need every bit of help doing. For CBS Saturday Morning, Manuel Bojorquez, Nauta, Peru.
Bees are essential. 35% of our crops are populated by bees and 3/4 of our flowering plants. So, I mean, you can't override how important they are.
Right, and we say this so many times when we do stories like this, but it's the interconnectivity of the ecosystems that when you start there and fall from there, the problems that you end up with, the domino effect of all
We
that.
want solutions to these problems. We hope we get them.